On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, we're going to talk about how you can build a client attraction machine. A machine where if you do the work once and build it, it continues to bring in leads for you over and over and over. And then we'll also talk about the brand new IGTV, Instagram's new vertical TV deal they have going on. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. This will be a good one.
The Massive Agent Podcast, with lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 29 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm. This is the number one show that starts with the word massive and ends in podcast. So that's science. If you have a problem with that, if you disagree, take it up with science, not me. Okay, guys, we have an awesome show today. I'm going to be talking about a couple different topics: how to build a client attraction machine, something where you build it once, you do the work once, and it continues to bring in leads over and over and over. And I'll explain the differences between that and buying leads and door knocking and cold calling and all that. Then we'll also talk about IGTV. Instagram TV, which is fairly new. It only came out 2-3 weeks ago, and I just did a video last night on there, and so it's fresh in my mind. And I'm also noticing some things that suck about it and things that are really awesome. So we'll talk about IGTV as well, because that is a hot topic in the marketing world. So one quick announcement, as I mentioned on the last episode, I am co-hosting a free webinar on Wednesday, Wednesday, July 18th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm co-hosting a webinar with Easy Agent Pro, and it's all about how to generate a crapload of leads using IDX. How you can use your IDX feed to bring in a crapload of leads and sell more homes. So that's totally free. You just have to register. To do that, just go to massiveagentpodcast.com/IDX webinar. massiveagentpodcast.com/IDX webinar. Again, it's July 18th. That's a Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and I am a co-host. I'm super excited about that. Totally free, no strings, no nothing. It's just, here's some information on how you can use IDX to sell more homes. I'll tell my story about how IDX has helped me and how many homes I've sold using IDX. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so you've heard me talk about my story of my first handful of years in the business and how I was struggling and how I was following my mentor, who I respected and I still love to this day. What's crazy is I just barely sponsored him to come over to eXp Realty and work with me. So he's now on my team, and I was once on his team. It's really crazy how things happen, years later. But so I was looking up to him, and he had a certain way of doing things because he has a very different personality than me. He likes the chase. He likes cold calling, door knocking, walking up to people in grocery stores, introducing himself. Like he was just very, outgoing that way. Okay. And at the time, and even still, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't jive with my personality. I think I'm actually an introvert that's just learned how to be outgoing, but I don't sometimes it takes work for me. So I never had any success doing those things. And so one of the things we did back then is we spent, thousands of bucks on Trulia ads. This is before Zillow ever bought Trulia. And we were doing Trulia ads for buyers in zip codes. I remember I had to have the Trulia app on my phone. And then whenever a lead came in, this was before agentology. This was before, I even knew what an ISA was, or before I even thought about how I could build a system and build a process for handling these leads. So because we just spent all this money, I was waiting for these leads all day long to come through my phone. Then I'd hurry and respond. And it seemed like, maybe 1 out of 50 was even a legit lead, 1 out of 50. And so we were spinning our wheels, all this effort, all this time. And, we closed one deal during that 6 months from those Trulia ads. And what's crazy is that's something where you're chasing down one client at a time. Okay. As soon as you stop paying for those leads, they stop coming. As soon as you stop responding to the leads, they don't just close themselves. So that was not a good system. Okay. because now I have a very clear vision of what I want in my real estate business and what I want in my life, what my priorities are. It's all about residual benefit, residual leads, residual income, these things that I want to be able to do the work one time and then have it continue to benefit me over and over and over again for years to come. And as we're doing these Trulia ads and spending, I think we spent $5,000, maybe it was $6,000 over 6 months, something like that. And I was also door knocking. My mentor was cold calling. I did it a couple times. I can't do it. Just can't do it because it drives me out of my mind when I get cold called. And no, I'm not into it. Doesn't work for me. And because I hate it so much, that comes through and you don't have any success doing something that you absolutely hate because people can tell. So I'm door knocking and it's the middle of summer, and then I did it in the middle of winter in Salt Lake. Like I had snow boots on, and then this was back when I was dressing up because I thought you had to wear a tie or a nice shirt, and now I wear V-necks and flip-flops and jeans, you just have to be yourself. But I was learning, I was growing, and I learned door knocking is one of those things too. As soon as you stop door knocking, you don't get any more leads. Okay? They just stop. So you have to continue doing that work over and over and over and over and over again. And that works for a little while, but it's not sustainable. And I don't care who you are. If you're listening to this and it sounds good to you that even though you can get some closings and sell some homes, okay, I'm not saying you won't ever sell homes, but if it sounds good to you that you have to continue doing a single action over and over and over forever to get the result. If that sounds good, you might need your head examined. That's not smart business. That's dumb. When at the same time you could be putting your time into building something. Today I'm calling it a client attraction machine. Okay, content marketing. We talked about this last episode a little bit. I did a previous episode about it before, and I'm going to talk about it a lot more. But I'm going to talk about it in a way today that might click with more of you guys. It might really put it into perspective that gets you off the fence. Gets you into the game, taking action. So I think I did it again, real quick. I don't think I introduced myself. I think I just said my name. For those of you guys new to the show, my name is Dustin Brohm. I am the host of the show. I'm a real estate agent, an active practicing real estate agent, a live one, if you will, in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am the founder of Search Salt Lake and Salt Lake Insider, and also the Massive Agent Society. That is our Facebook lead gen training system and support system. And I'm soon going to be expanding a lot more of what's included with that. You can check that out at massiveagentsociety.com. Okay, back to the story. So as I'm out there door knocking in, 103 degree weather, in snowstorms, and rainstorms and all that, I'd get the occasional client, like it would pay off eventually and I'd get one deal. But over those years that I was working with that team, I just kept thinking, how about these guys that are closing hundreds of deals a year? What do they do? Obviously, they're not getting them all by door knocking. Part of me knew that I was putting in the work now. I was paying my dues to learn, to get out of my comfort zone. I just wanted to get out there and do something because, it's all about momentum. Getting out there and taking action, doing something leads to something else, which leads to something else. So it's better than doing nothing. But I knew that there had to be something different that I wasn't already doing, that I didn't already know about. And so I started researching online how to get more deals. And I came across the blog from Easy Agent Pro, and they had they were great with content marketing. They had a ton of articles about how to get leads, how to pick up clients, ideas for marketing and stuff like that. And I hadn't seen a lot of that at the time. This was 3 years ago or something. And then I continued going down that road and I came across the concept of content marketing. And you've heard me say it before if you've been listening to the show for a while, but there was something about it that spoke to me. And I'm like, wait, so you're telling me that I could just write a blog article or do a video, and over time, as long as I learn to share it, as long as I learn to promote the content the right way, I can actually have clients come to me and saying, hey, we want to hire you. It was completely the opposite of how I had been approaching things. And so it was a theory, but it sounded great. It sounded like it could work, but I didn't know anyone doing that. And so I kept researching, I kept learning more, and I'm like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to start a website. I'm going to start blogging. I can do this. And it was a huge leap of faith. I put down, at the time, I think it was like, $600 almost $700 to get started with Easy Agent Pro, and now it's like, what is it, like 160? I think they totally waived their startup fee, which is awesome. But when you're only closing a few deals a year, I think my income was like 28,000. That was big, but I took a leap of faith because I thought I could make this work. And the whole thought was that I could put this content out. I could write some articles, get people to come to my website, and over time, as I continued to promote it and get people linking back to my article and getting it shared on social media, people are going to come to me. They're going to read an article or watch a video or both, and they're going to hire me because they see me as the expert. And it was all about building something once, working your ass off once, building something once, and having it continue to pay you, basically. Continue to bring in results over and over and over. And it took about, I can't even remember, 3 to 6 months before I got my first solid lead. Somebody called me. They're like, hey, we just saw your video on why Zillow sucks, and we need to buy a house, and you're our guy. That was absolutely mind-blowing. So they had found my video somehow on YouTube because I linked to my website. They went over to my website, learned a little bit more about me, read some of the stuff I've done, and made up their mind before they reached out that they wanted to hire me. That was amazing. And so I got some payoff pretty quick to let me know, hey, you're on the right track, keep going. But if you guys have been going down the road of content marketing, it might take 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, because it depends on so many things. First off, is the content you're putting out even good? And are you even sharing it effectively? Are you promoting it effectively? There's a lot of things that go into it, of course. So give yourself some time, but it does absolutely work. Here's the thing, and I want you to think about this. And I talked about this at the beginning of the show here. You can do one of two things. You can continue cold calling. You can continue door knocking, sending out mailers, trying to catch one fish at a time and bring it back to the boat. One at a time. Yes, you can close some deals. You can pay the bills. And if you do it long enough, sure, you're going to start getting some repeat business and some referrals and all that. But as soon as you stop taking those actions that got you the business in the first place, there's no more business. It's gone. Okay. So if you're not cold calling and door knocking and sending mailers and doing all that, you're not getting any more leads. Or you could commit to, let's say, 9 months. You could learn all about blogging or doing video, and you can put out a ton of it and learn how to share, learn how to get backlinks, learn how to promote your content, which honestly, just putting out the content is the very beginning. That's just the start. Creating the piece of content, as much time as that takes, that's just the beginning. Okay. So I don't want to delude you into thinking that you just put out a piece of content, cool, and then share it on a Facebook group, and boom, it takes off, and you close $1 million this year. No, it's hard work. But guess what? So is being broke. Being broke is pretty hard work. It's exhausting. Being broke is freaking hard. I've been there. All right, so I get it. There's other ways to do it. You just have to bust your ass and learn and get better and learn and get better and keep going. Because if you build that client attraction machine that I'm talking about, that content marketing machine, you could do one article that continues to pay you and get you clients for years to come. For example, I just talked about this on my IGTV video that I put up yesterday on our Instagram. I'm going to be doing a lot more on IGTV because I think it's a really cool platform. Follow us at Massive Agent on IG, please. But this one article that I wrote that my friend Ryan in Raleigh, North Carolina recommended that I write. It was about moving to Salt Lake City. I spent a ton of time. I think it was like 6,000 or 8,000 words, which is a very big article. I had to find all the photos. I had to create some graphics. I had to do all sorts of things. And I think I spent 2 weeks of solid work building this article. But once I published it and then started getting it shared by some local media companies, I started getting leads like crazy. Like crazy. That one article has led to well over 6 figures in commission. Just because I published one article back in the day and was very good at promoting it. It made it all the way to number 1 on Google, and I continued to get leads every single week from that. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission because of that one article. That's how powerful it can be. I'm not saying it's easy to do that, but that's possible. And that will never be possible if your business model is cold calling and door knocking. It's just not possible. So you've heard me talk about this before too, and I'll talk about it again. it's so important for me to build something that is residual. And so if I remove myself from the equation, if I get sick, if I can't work for whatever reason, let's say I just want to go on vacation with the family for a month, or my kid gets hurt and I need to spend time with him, or, I mean, who knows? Crazy shit happens all the time that really disrupts your life and your ability to work. When that stuff happens, and it will happen, what are you going to do? Okay. Are you going to wait until then to start content marketing? Or are you going to start building a client attraction machine now? Absolutely obsessed with figuring out ways that I could systemize what I'm doing and have multiple streams of income that are residual, that come in after I've done the work once. That's why I chose the brokerage that I'm with. That's why I'm with eXp Realty, is for revenue sharing and profit sharing and the ability to create residual passive income. That's huge for me. That's also why I am into content marketing. I created SearchSaltLake.com, and I've now created SaltLakeInsider.com as a non-real estate media company. And so I can start building up content, building the presence, building the domain authority, building backlinks. And sorry for the SEO speak, but backlinks just means, like, if I write an article, SearchSaltLake.com/article, and someone else on Huffington Post or Inman or, Joe's realestateblog.com, if they link back to my article from theirs, that's a backlink, and Google likes that very much. That really helps my article, because if somebody's willing to link to mine, it must be decent content in Google's eyes. But all of that is creating this system, this platform for me, so that I can remove myself eventually. I can bring on buyer's agents and listing specialists to help close the deals, and then I can just focus on the marketing. I could focus on just getting more clients in, Facebook ad systems and funnels and everything like that I love doing. And then, wanting to work with you guys and sponsoring other agents to come work with eXp, so that there's revenue sharing there that happens on a residual basis for doing the work one time, and then supporting them ongoing, of course. And then also helping those people to recruit and sponsor others to build their business. So all of those things go into creating this residual income producing machine, residual lead producing machine. And if you're honest with yourself, I don't care what has been successful for you thus far in your career. I don't care who you are or how long you've been in the business. If you're intellectually honest with yourself, I think you know that one is sustainable and one isn't. One is worth getting good at, one isn't. Guys, get good at something worth getting good at. That's it. Okay? So for me, it's building that client attraction machine and residual income through the brokerage that I chose, and helping other people to join that brokerage. That's also why I have the Massive Agent Society. There's a residual recurring monthly income there. There's some sponsorships I'm going to be doing in the future. There's affiliate marketing opportunities when you have a website and a blog with decent traffic. I did an article on smart home devices, about smart doorbells and smart door locks and stuff. And every once in a while, somebody will buy something on Amazon through my affiliate link, and I will get a cut of that sale. So there's so many opportunities when you have content and you have an audience, but you have to get there first. I challenge you guys, if this sounds daunting, if you know you want to go in the direction of content marketing, but it sounds daunting, sounds intimidating, and you're not sure if you can do it, don't completely quit what you're doing now, what's working for you right now, but you need to try. Maybe you have to work 2 or 3 extra hours a day. Maybe it's an extra 30 minutes a day. I don't know. But you have to work more and start learning on how to do these things and find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, what you shouldn't focus on because you suck at, and what you should focus on because you kick ass at. I promise you guys, because this is so important to me, I know it is to you, but so many people are not willing to make the hard choices or the hard decisions, which, let's be honest, they're not that freaking hard, to start building residual income and leads that come in on a residual basis. It just takes a decision and take the right turn instead of going left. That's it. You just have to do it. And if switching brokerages is part of that for you, it is for me. I mean, it's like I'm going to be selling homes with a brokerage anyways. Why not have the ability to get company stock and residual income by sponsoring others to come work with me and then helping them do the same? Like, to me, that just makes sense. And switching brokerages is not a hard thing to do. You do it once and you're good, right? It's just about making the decision. Do you want residual leads? Do you want residual income? Do you want business and do you want clients to come in over and over and over for work you did once? Or do you want to just keep going after them one at a time? It's up to you. And I was just about to say that I'm not really trying to convince anyone to do anything, but that's a lie. I am trying to convince you. I'm trying to show you that there is a better way. You've heard it on episode 19 where I officially switched brokerages and I told you the deep story of, the deeply personal story of why I did. It's such I don't want to say concern, but it's such a passion, I guess. I don't know. I'm struggling for the right word. It's so incredibly important to me that I have some stability for my family, some financial stability, by building something that doesn't need me to continue to do actions every single day to get money coming in. And it's a journey. It's not easy. It's hard, but so is being broke. So is not having an income if, God forbid, something happens to you or a family member or our industry or our economy or whatever, and you can't, your one single income is gone. It's something you need to think about. And I'm not talking like doomsday, oh my God, the sky is falling. It's something you just need to start working towards, because 99.9% of us are going to be doing this for decades to come. We may as well be turning to the right instead of to the left and building something sustainable that just grows and grows and grows over time. You want to talk about financial security, financial independence, that's where you get it. Not from the one at a time door knocking clients you get. Okay, so let's talk about IGTV, Instagram TV. So this is something that came out with a few weeks ago. It's kind of like YouTube meets Facebook Watch meets Instagram Stories. So Instagram Stories is huge for them, but even the videos that are put into the Instagram feed are capped at 60 seconds each. So they just lifted that. For the vast majority of Instagram users, you now have 10 minutes. You can put up to 10-minute long videos on your IGTV channel, and you do have to create a channel if you have not yet. So go into your Instagram app, click the little orange IGTV deal, and then create a channel. And we have one for Massive Agent. So if you follow us on Instagram at Massive Agent, and then you click on IGTV, you'll start seeing our content there. But you have 10 minutes, and the big influencers, and soon every Instagram user will have an hour. You can put up to 1 hour long videos on there. Now, here's the thing. We've seen a lot of people just repurposing their YouTube videos, and they'll just, oh, I did these videos over the last 6 months, so now I'll just put them over on IGTV, and they're not vertical. IGTV is all vertical video, full screen, vertical video. And so you have to think about that as you're recording it and creating the content for it. Don't just put a landscape YouTube video in there. That's lazy. It's not even trying. But start creating vertical video. And when you're looking for opportunities of content to do, start thinking of, hey, this could be a great IGTV show. Because on IGTV, it stays there. It doesn't disappear like an Instagram story does after 24 hours. It stays on IGTV. You're building your channel, kind of like your YouTube channel. Now, what really excites me about it is these videos, you can have people like it and comment on it, and you can get engagement just like you can on an Instagram story. So it's like adding the functionality and discoverability and everything of Instagram stories with YouTube videos and meshing it into one. Super powerful. I think we're just barely starting to realize the power that IGTV could have. So get in there and start playing around, start watching some other content, start doing some of your own. But please don't just take your videos that you've done before, especially the landscape ones, and put them into IGTV, which is portrait, aka vertical. Don't do that. You've heard of best practices. That's a worst practice. That is the worst practice. So don't do that. I think we also need to be projecting into the future about what could possibly come next with IGTV. What functionality will they add to it to make it more powerful? I have no idea, but you know that they're going to continue to innovate and make it better. Okay, so one last reminder, we're doing that free webinar all about how to get more leads with your IDX, with your website, and the listing feed to your website, which is called IDX. That's happening live. It's a live webinar next Wednesday, July 18th. So this episode's dropping on Thursday, July 12th. So it's 6 days away, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Just go to massiveagentpodcast.com/IDX webinar. massiveagentpodcast.com/IDX webinar. It's completely free. Register for it. Then you'll get a link and you can join the free webinar. That's cool. I'm going to be giving out as much of my secrets as I possibly can to help you guys get more deals. Lastly, our Alexa flash briefing. it's so cool. It's like a little teeny daily podcast, 7 days a week. And all you have to do is on your Alexa device, on your Alexa app, go in and enable. You just have to go enable the skill, enable the Massive Agent Minute flash briefing. So pick up your Alexa app, go into the upper left, click the little hamburger button, the 3 lines. That opens up the menu. Click on skills and games, because flash briefings are skills. Once you've clicked that, just search for Massive Agent and you'll find the Massive Agent Minute and enable it. Then all you have to do to play it is say, Alexa, play my daily briefing. Alexa, play my flash briefing, whatever. And most people do it in the morning because it has the weather and the stock market updates and maybe their Bitcoin update or whatever. And so you'll hear little 60 to 90 second bit from me. And I'm soon going to start having guests on the flash briefing. That's going to be cool. So look for that. But go enable that. We're having a lot of fun and that's growing. And as you've heard me say before, it's obviously the future. Voice is the future. I actually think it's the right now, but like Alexa and everything is the future. Thank you guys for sitting through another episode, another amazing episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, the #1 show that starts with massive and ends with podcast. I just like saying that. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Go out there and sell some homes, spend some time with the family, and then sell some more homes. Take care, guys. Have a good one.